Now, February is Black History Month here in the U.S., and VOA is celebrating the achievements of African Americans. Before World War II, racism prevented African Americans from piloting aircrafts in the U.S. military. But the Tuskegee Airmen helped to tear down racial barriers and pave the way for desegregation of the armed forces. VOA's Kane has more.
The exploits of the Tuskegee Airmen, an all-black fighter squadron, went largely unnoticed during and after World War II.
Information about the pilots in the news was a big secret to as far as this country was concerned.
Despite that lack of recognition, Beverly Dungill and other pilots broke the color barrier in the U.S. military.
Really, the story of the Tuskegee Airmen is that they were the best.
Their stories motivated youth like Kenyatta Ruffin, who generations later pursued a career in the armed forces.
I owe to conduct my life and to strive for excellence in the same manner that they did.
After graduating from the U.S. Air Force Academy, Ruffin became an F-16 fighter pilot. During a combat deployment to Iraq, fate brought him closer to the men he idolized.
I landed at Balad Air Base, Iraq, and Balad was the 332nd Air Expeditionary Wing, which is a direct legacy in the same unit as the 332nd Fighter Group of the Tuskegee Airmen.
It was a bittersweet moment for Ruffin, the only African-American fighter pilot assigned to the wing at the time.
In most of the units I've been in, I've been the only African-American pilot.
Kenyatta Ruffin is one of 45 African-American fighter pilots in the U.S. Air Force. That is 1.4% of all fighter pilots in the Air Force, far fewer than the number who served during the Second World War, when nearly 1,000 pilots graduated from the Tuskegee Institute in the southern state of Alabama.
It's an atrocious stat, especially if you consider that we want to be kind of representative of the society, and the black population in America is anywhere between 10 and 12%.
Ruffin says the disparity is not due to racism.
The issue is that there's not an exposure to it. The popular media, you're filled with basketball players, with football players, rappers, and you're not exposed to the likes of the Tuskegee Airmen who live their life with excellence. The Tuskegee Airmen earned those privileges.
At a theater in Chicago, after watching the movie Red Tails that dramatizes the accomplishments of the Tuskegee Airmen, Ruffin used the film as a way to increase exposure to his own life as an aviator.
It is tougher to be an Air Force pilot than it is to be in the NFL.
He says the words of the first African-American to rise to the rank of a four-star general, Daniel James Jr., rings true when he talks to young people.
He said, "The power of excellence is overwhelming. It is always in demand, and nobody cares about its color." And that's the truth.
The U.S. Air Force also has a motto for this: aim high. Kane Farabaugh, VOA News, Chicago, Illinois.